Whatever game you're playing, it won't work. You can't defeat me.
No, I know. But he can.
Hello everyone, and welcome. I know I've disappeared for quite some time, but blame college for it. But hey, I'm trying my best to keep the schedule consistent, even though it's not, but either way, who cares? Hello and welcome. I'm going to be teaching you how you can defend yourself against the big boy infected within Dying Light 2. Whether you're a new player or experienced player that's trying to improve their combat skills, and as well as, or someone that is probably watching this while they're eating food. I know some of you are doing that shit, but either way.
We'd like to take a moment to announce that...
Let's get into it. Starting off with the Goon. There's 3 different variants of the Goon. There's the normal, elemental effects, and the ones that are able to call in a Banshee. So, let's talk about the Goon. Their attack patterns. Stand in front of them, they will perform a swing. Stand behind them, they will perform like a 360-degree spin. Stand too close to them, they will smack you with their hand. And as well as, anytime they miss an attack and you're attacking them, they will perform a stomp. Or, if it's a elemental Goon, then they will just simply slam their rebar on the ground. Great. And also one thing that I forgot to mention is that they're also able to hit you on a slightly elevated surface, whether you're standing on a small house or on a small shed, whatever. Even if they're not able to reach you, they will try to still hit you in some way or another. They do not have any ranged attacks. So yeah. So how you can defend them? A lot of their attacks are able to be dodged regardless of what direction you're going through. The perfect time you should be dodging is as soon as the rebar or their hand is about to hit you, not as soon as the animation starts. But you can also do that as a way to get away. You can either dodge it perfectly, or you can just like back away instantly. As for the ones where he slams his foot on the floor, or slams his rebar on the ground, that is undodgeable. You need to jump or either back away. That's it. As for the elemental goons, you might think that the elemental boosters are going to help you. No, it is not. It is only going to reduce the damage over time effect and as well as the duration of the elemental effect. That's it. The initial damage is still going to hurt a lot. Also, one thing I forgot to mention about the Goon is that some of their attacks can be crouched under. It just really depends on the Goon size, because some are bigger than others, some are smaller than others, so be careful of that one. That's it. That's their attack pattern mostly. I might have missed something, but who really cares at this point? Now, let's go over with what weapons you should be using. One-handed machetes and as well as one-handed axes. One-handed axes deal the highest amount of base damage than the other one-handed weapons, and machetes because of their very fast swing speed. Two-handed weapons, long weapons, and as well as polearms are also a very good choice. You're sort of able to position yourself where you're still able to hit them, and they can't like get too close to the point where they perform a swinging animation. And even if they do, you have a larger window to like dodge their attacks. So yeah. Two-handed weapons are your best bet because of their like high damage. As for equipment, you just simply want to be using explosives. Do not use grenades, use C4, mines, or even the boomstick. The boomstick is able to stagger them for a brief moment. C4 is great for like instantly getting rid of them as long as you get it to stick on them. And that's pretty much it. Toughness and muscle boosters are also really damn good. Skills like bash and as well as enemy jump and as well as dropkick can also be good. Enemy jump is if you want to just instantly get away from a situation, you can jump on their heads. Bash and dropkick allows you to stagger them for a brief moment, or you can either use that as a way to completely nullify any staggering or stunning effect. Because anytime you use dropkick and as well as bash, as long as the animation is playing, you're not able to be staggered in any shape and form. Keep that one in mind. That's it. Again, like I said, the best way you can dodge their attacks, even if it's their offhand or them swinging their rebar, dodge it as soon as it's about to hit you, or as soon as it's about to land on you, and that's it. Even if you're cornered, it doesn't matter. I also forgot to mention that they're also able to like slam their rebar like in front of them if you get too close, so be careful of that one. You can dodge it, but you just have to be very precise of it. That's it. Guns and as well as crossbows are your best bet when it comes to dealing with these guys. The shotgun is the best as you're able to hit them 6 times on the head and it instantly kills them. But you have to be very precise and close to their face, otherwise it takes about like 8 shots to kill them. Crossbows are your best bet. Rifles are good, but it only takes like 2 magazines to kill them. Or maybe 1.5 if you're very accurate and hit the head consistently. One thing I forgot to talk about the Goons is that the Goons that are able to call in Banshees are like very fragile. The normal Banshees themselves are like are somewhat tanky, but they're not too tanky in a way. But these ones that the Goon is able to call in are very fragile, usually taking 1 or 2 hits to instantly kill them. As soon as the only time they're able to really call in Banshees is 1 is if they spot you, and 2 is if they miss an attack and you're attacking them. And they will be in a vulnerable position because they cannot do anything while they're calling in for Banshees. Like, they will look up and scream very loudly, calling in enemies like Virals and Banshees to roll in. And once they start rolling in, forget the Goon, deal with the Banshees and as well as the other enemies, and go back to the Goon. Well, you can sort of ignore the virals. They're kind of easy to deal with as long as you have a UV flashlight or UV flare to sort of mess around with. And even then, just have a two-handed weapon where you're able to hit multiple targets. So be careful of that one. And one common attack that they do every time they finish their scream is stomp their foot. So be careful of that one. But that doesn't mean that they always do it, so be careful. And another thing about the elemental goons is that their elemental effects can also be used like against other enemies, like fire and electricity can be also applied to other enemies. And they also like to spam that one attack where they slam their rebar off the floor, so be careful of that one. And that's pretty much it. Soon as the goon where he calls in banshees, as soon as they start calling it in, bash them as much as you can because they're sort of vulnerable. They can't do shit unless you stagger them, which will completely nullify the effect. Even if you do stagger them, as soon as they start screaming, banshees are gonna be start rolling in, even if you do stop them, so be careful.
Yeah!
Next up are the Demolishers. These big hefty bastards will be very unpredictable and have a lot of tantrum and anger issues within their hands. So let's get into it. There are two variants. There's the basic Demolisher and as well as the Gorilla variant, which you only see on Jay's mission and as well as on the Bloody Ties DLC, which is kinda sad, but hey, what can I do? I can't do shit about it, but either way, let's get into it. Firstly being, stand too close to them, they will start to swing at you. No shit. Stand behind them, they will start to like swing their arms on their do like a 180-degree spin attack type shit. If they miss attack and you hit them, they will go on a tantrum and start to swing their arms around in a 360-degree angle. They're just basically going to be flying their arms around left and right, back and forth. So be careful of that one. If you're a little bit further away, they will slam the floor, causing a straight line of a shockwave to happen. Sometimes they will perform a continuous 360-degree shockwave where they like raise their body and like slam the floor, and this shockwave is continuous, meaning that you're forced to back away. You cannot jump over it. Well, sure, you can sort of like last in the air for like a few seconds because it's one of those things where you can sort of like jump over it, but the problem is, because it happens continuously for like a few seconds, if your foot lands on the ground, you're gonna get knocked over on the floor. That's pretty much it. If you're a little bit close or a little bit further away, then he's going to be able to charge at you. And as well as if you're very far away or on a tall place, then he's going to rip off a concrete and as well as throw it at you. That's pretty much it. Also, one minor attack that he has is if there's infected around them, he will actually throw them at you, do small bits of damage. It won't do much, but it's just going to stagger you and do chip damage at you, and that's pretty much it. That's the only attacks I can see. As for the Gorilla variant, he has a few unique attacks. Firstly being is that whenever you're close to him, instead of just like simply swinging at you, he will actually start walking towards you and swing a lot more often. This attack doesn't happen on the base goon, so be careful of that one. The another one being is that they're somehow able to lift their fat ass, 500 kilo, what the fuck, how much they weight, are able to jump off the floor and leap onto you. So be careful of that one. They are able to charge, but they more or less like to perform that leaping attack, so you have to be very careful. Dodge to the side, because if you dodge backwards, then there's going to be a shockwave effect happening. So you have to dodge onto the side as much as you can. You can dodge backwards, but you have to just like time it very perfectly. And their leap is very fast. It requires you to be very quick on your feet. If you're not, then he's going to be constantly leaping onto you. If you don't want that to happen, just keep continuously being close to them. As for weapons, equipment, and etc., just use the same shit as I said on Goons. Everything that I said that applies the same thing with here. Also, one thing I forgot to mention, that the best elemental of choice to be used against both the Demolition as well as the Goon is the Impact mod, because the Impact mod actually staggers them for a short period. So, there's that. But how can you dodge them? Well, a lot of their attacks are you can literally just either back away or just dodge it at the perfect timing, except for their continuous 360-degree shockwave ground pound attack, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you can't also like perfectly dodge their projectile attack. You have to dodge it as soon as he throws it, because if you dodge it as soon as he starts throwing it, then he's going to track you and it's going to not leave you a lot of space of dodging it. So yeah, if they're about to charge or like to throw a tantrum, you can dropkick or bash them or use the boomstick to sort of stop them entirely. Or you can just like stand behind something and just hope for the best, because sometimes they're a little bit unpredictable. Sometimes they're able to just like continuously charge even though they're running up against the wall, or they're just gonna like bump into the most weirdest object ever and get staggered. But be careful, as soon as they get stunned or like miss their attacks, they will throw a tantrum, and as long as you dropkick or bash them, it's going to not really mess with you that much. You're going to stagger them for one way or another. Boomstick is your best bet if you don't have bash or dropkick, so be careful of that one. And the same thing also applies to a lot of the things for the gorilla variant.
You're horrible. You're an irredeemable monster.
Oh, what took you so long, idiot?
You
Let's go over with the GRE Anomalies, or the Aberrations. The difference between the GRE Anomalies and as well as their Aberration variants is that the Aberrations are a little bit more tanky and are able to do all of the moves regardless of what phase it is, but the phases just mostly depends on how quick they're able to perform their attacks. Do phases matter? Sometimes yes and no, it really depends. Phases just more or less based on what I've seen, and again I could be very wrong about this, so please correct me down in the comments, is just some sort of determines like how many movesets they have. If it's like phase 1, then they're just going to have like one attack move, and if they're on like phase 2, then they're going to be able to whip out a new move and as well as do that move more often and etc. Again, it's like a little bit unpredictable. Sometimes they're able to do like a lot of the moves on phase 1, sometimes they only do one move attack on phase 3, so it is a little bit unpredictable. But let's go over with their attacks. If you're approaching them, they will either dodge or try to tackle you. For that, just dodge to the side or perfectly dodge it. If you're behind them, then they're just going to start swinging around. If you're close to them, they'll also start swinging around. They're also able to spit at you if you're further away, and if you're behind them, they're going to spit out 6 small toxic grenades that will deal a shitload of damage, but there is some bit of timer that the game indicates to you, so be careful of that one. They're also able to call in the dead. Like, you know those trash cans that you see on every GRE anomaly sites? Yeah, they're sort of able to revive the dead from there. The enemies that they're able to revive are a biter, viral, and as well as a spitter. Deal with the spitter and go back to the GRE anomalies. One attack pattern that I forgot to include about the GRE anomalies is that they're able to jump up and stomp the floor, causing a huge ring of acid to fly horizontally. If you get caught by this, it will do a shitload of damage, almost killing you instantly. It does like half of your health as an instant damage. You can either dodge this by climbing over something or jumping over it. That's it. Enemies also can be affected by this, so be careful of that one. Weapons are not really good against them because they're a boss enemy, so use whatever you want. Well, I'm not saying weapons are bad, it's just like every single weapon takes a lot of time to like kill them. Crossbows can be fine, but you just sort of have to be very precise and be concerned the fact that they move their bodies around in a very weird and lengthy way. It can be a little bit tough to aim for the head, so be careful of that one. So yeah, and they're also able to like leap around the map, sort of making you waste your time and whatnot, so be careful of that one. So a lot of their attacks you just sort of have to be very precise, and you can either dodge it instantly and as well as or just dodge back away. Their spit you just have to dodge away, you can't perfectly dodge it, or you can sort of deflect it with, or block it away with the blocking projectile skills, and that's pretty much it. And when it comes to them like shoulder bashing you or like attacking you with their arms and shit, you can perfectly dodge that or just like back away. You can't like block them because it staggers you for a brief moment, so the Carnage Medica is also not going to help you a lot, so be careful. Every hit they do is going to stagger you, so be careful. Vault kick, drop kick, and as well as bash can be good against them because sometimes it does push them away, sometimes it staggers them, but majority of the time you're only going to be really using these is if they're about to leap away. If you drop kick, vault kick, or even bash for that matter, as soon as they're about to leap away, you can actually cancel that animation and just make them stay next to you for a little bit longer. So that's one thing I forgot to mention. The only best way I can say is just like keep spamming your attacks, and that's really it. And as well as use as much of your elemental effects as much as you can, whether that be ice, fire, electricity, etc. You want to make sure that there's no other enemies bothering you because they can be a little bit frustrating at certain times, where the Banshee or the Anomaly can sometimes sort of sit back and be with the infected a lot of the times, so yeah.
Get a haircut.
The Volatiles, oh boy. I know they're a medium-sized enemy, but consider the fact that their heavy attacks are literally the same, deal the same damage as a fucking freight train coming at you at Mach speed. I think it's kind of justified. Like, they may be medium, but their attacks are very fucking heavy. The thing about the Volatiles is that they're very slow in their attacks, but they deal a shit ton of damage, even for tanks. Like, these fuckers are able to really shred you like butter without having any problems whatsoever. But either way, let's go over some of the attacks. If you get too close to them, they'll just start like swinging their arms around. Sometimes they will like leap onto you, and sometimes they will just like bitch slap you, and that's pretty much it. Depends on where you are. If you're behind them, then they will start to like turn around and start to instantly bash you. If you're like say a few meters away from them, they will just start to like leap on you, but not pounce on you. You will be able to see them pounce. There's a very lengthy animation where they start to like like crouch down or like kneel down and be on all four legs, and they will start to like jump on you. It is very easy to mess around with, and if you're on like a slightly elevated surface or you're like on a staircase, you can sort of use that as an advantage where if they miss their pounds, then they're just gonna fall flat on their asses, and it allows you to stomp their heads. So yeah. UV flashlight and boomstick is your best bet, and as well as UV flares. Bash and dropkick are not going to be really good against them, and every single elemental effect except for the bleed is going to be very good against them because it actually staggers them for a brief period. Toxin is a little bit unpredictable because sometimes it does stagger them, sometimes it does not, so be careful. But if you want a guaranteed stunning them, go for ice, electricity, and impact. Those are your best bet. They sort of function the same way as a little UV light, and that's pretty much it. Do not hold the UV flashlight on them, just simply blind them for a brief period and blind them again when they miss an attack or finish a swinging animation, because they do gain some bit of immunity and some bit of resistance where they're able to just simply push through, so be careful of that one. At least it's not as unpredictable and as inconsistent as in the first game, where even if you do flash the light on them for the first time, it doesn't really work on them, so yeah, either way. That's pretty much it. But what about if you're fighting off against multiple versions of them? Drop a UV flash, just keep continuously spam your elemental effects, and as well as your UV flashlight. If you don't have any of those, then stick with the boomstick. The only time you should be using the boomstick is A, if you're out of stamina and they're about to hit you, and B, if you're not comfortable dodging their attacks, and that's it. Bashing is somewhat good as you're able to just like plow through them, but it's not going to stagger them in any way. And if you want to be able to fight them if you don't have any of these, staircases and as well as doorways are your best bet because they're sort of blocking each other and they can't like jump over each other or like pass through, so you can sort of use it as an advantage. Doors are just, because of how dense they are, they're sort of able to get stuck outside and it allows you to just attack them instantly. But if you don't have any of those, then environments are your best bet. Climb on top of something, bash them, and just keep moving around and keep dodging their attacks, and that's it. And also make sure that there's no volatile that is about to pounce on you. If they do, if it's just the one volatile on top of you, then just simply push them away. But if you're surrounded by enemies, use the UV flare to stun them and as well as other enemies. You don't want to be taking too much damage at this point. They're also able to spit at you if you're like a little bit further away or if you're on a place that they cannot climb, so be careful of that one. You either dodge around it, or you either instantly block it, and that's pretty much it. The best weapon you can use against them is either two-handed weapons and as well as one-handed weapons, specifically being machetes because of their very fast swinging speed, and two-handed weapons because of their sheer amounts of power. Sometimes they're able to really stagger the volatile, sometimes, not often. But sometimes, because of how fucking powerful they are. Guns are also really good against them if you want to be able to lower their health entirely or completely kill them with shotguns. So, yeah, SMGs, rifles, and shotguns and crossbows can be good as long as you're able to aim for the head consistently. And that's it. Again, even if you're cornered, you're still able to dodge their attacks. But you have to be very precise about it. You have to be, again, you have to dodge it as soon as their claw is about to land on you. That's it. UV light, UV flares, and as well as boomstick are your best bet for defense. Only use boomsticks if you don't have a UV light. And only use it is if they're about to attack you and you don't have enough time to dodge. Or if you want to push one away and you want to focus on the other one. That's it. But if you want another alternative way to kill them, stand on a rooftop like a very tall place and make them pounce or leap onto you. Like stand at the very edge of the building and just let them pounce on you and you dodge away. They're just gonna fall flat on their death. So, yeah.
Hello again.
Holy crap! You are creepy as shit, sneaking up on me wearing that collar with that freaky ass smile.
As for the Volatile Tyrants, a lot of the shit that I said sort of applies to them, like use doors and staircases to block, sort of like mess around with them, and as well as elemental effects sort of staggering them. But UV flashes are not going to fucking help you that much because they're a little bit resistant to it. It is going to help them, for you against them, but it's not going to help you that much because they're a little bit immune to UV flashlights. As for UV flares, they're sort of resistant to it as well. Sometimes they're able to go through, sometimes they're not. They have this some bit of immunity where they're sort of able to ignore it, but not forever. The difference between them is that they have new attack patterns where they're able to like leap a lot more, and as well as have a much more wider swing. Like, the thing about them is that when they swing, they move forward a lot. So your best bet is to dodge sideways. The only time you should be dodging backwards is if you're able to perfectly dodge it. But anytime they perform an attack, they move forward a lot. Like, they leap forward a lot, so be careful of that one. So the best bet is to just dodge sideways as much as you can. These guys are very fast and aggressive, and they spit a lot more faster, and they like try to pounce on you at least 2 or 3 times. Just because you dodge their pounds, that doesn't mean that they're done. They're gonna do it again, and maybe for the 3rd time, so be careful of that one. So yeah, and do be careful because they're very powerful, and they're very deadly to begin with, and they're very tanky. Guns can be fine, but they're not perfect for killing them. Crossbows are good, that is all I can say. So be careful of that one. But do not try to fight multiple of them because of how fast and aggressive these guys are, so be careful of that one. Do not try to fight like 3. 2 you can maybe fight if you're very careful and precise and very quick on your feet, so be careful of that one. The boomstick is your best line of defense. Forget about the UV flashlight. The boomstick is your best bet. That's it. And elemental effects, as it's able to sort of stagger them for a brief period. Be very quick on your feet. That is all I can really say about them. That's it. Or you can just stay on top of a high building and just, you know, mess around with them. The only time you should really be fighting, like, Volatile Tyrants is, 1, if you're bored and you want to fight off a very challenging enemy. 2 is if it's for the sake of an event you see. That's it. Also, sometimes I forgot to mention is that they are able to call in virals as backup, where they like sort of forget about you and like start screaming at the top of their lungs, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, that's it. That is all I can say. I hope this video gave you a very good insight on how you can defend yourself against the big boys, and as well as how you can defend, fight, and know their attack patterns. Did I miss something? Probably. Have I forgotten something? Definitely. Do I care? No. Again, do not expect me to be a very nerdy person that whips out like a fucking paragraph or like a whiteboard that pretty much shows like the hitbox and as well as their attack patterns and whatnot, or how the behavior works. No. I'm just pretty much explaining you the most simplistic and basic shit ever. Do not expect me to be very nerdy about this shit. So, yeah. That's pretty much all I can say about them. So I hope this video gave you a very good insight on how you can dodge their attacks, defend yourself, and as well as be able to know their attack pattern. That's pretty much it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and as always, treat each other with respect, show some love, kindness to another. This is a family friendly video, or channel I should really be saying. Do not be an asshole to another, and as always, I will see each and every one of you next time. Goodbye, and now get out of my fucking house. Shoot.